Yo, I think it's faster.
What's up, guys? It's Otakify. And it's awesome here with Mike.
What's up?
So, guys, Mike was sick.
Yes.
Mike was sick.
For 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, I didn't go to work. I was just in bed. And it was terrible. I thought I was going to get things done. Like, oh, I don't have to go to work. No, I have a huge headache walking around.
Damn.
I have to lay down. Yeah.
That's pretty bad, bro.
Yeah. I should have just
being sick is never timely. It's never timely. Although, like, I like to think that sometimes, like, oh man, if I was sick, like, that wouldn't be so bad. Or like, not necessarily like that wouldn't be so bad, but like more so like there are times when you get sick and you're like, this is the worst time to get sick. But like, I'm trying to theorize if there's ever a best time to get sick. Like, is there ever a time where it's just like, ooh, that allows me to avoid that thing that I needed to do?
I guess only then it's a good time to get sick. Like,
oh man.
If you have to do a presentation that you haven't prepared for school and you're just like, oh, I'm totally gonna bomb this. Good thing I have a cold right now and I have to stay home.
Good thing I have a cold. Damn. Man, we could probably talk about being sick for a minute because I just thought of a story. But out of curiosity, bro, did you watch any anime while you were sick?
I did. I ended up watching a few things. The one that I immediately remember right now that I kind of want to finish is... I don't know why I want to say Code Geass. I didn't watch Code Geass. Psycho-Pass, first season. I love that anime, man. The anime is so good.
You saw that before? Or
I saw it before.
Was that your first time?
No,
okay.
I saw it before. I saw it a couple years ago, and I fell in love with that anime. It's really good. I liked it.
Word, dude. Well, I've never actually seen Psycho-Pass.
What? How have you not seen Psycho-Pass? I think you would love that anime.
Why do you think I would love it, bro? Tell me about it.
I think that it caused you to think about society and people's interactions and just like social dynamics. If it were to be like that in general, it's kind of like a utopia, dystopia type situation going on.
Like The Giver?
Kind of like The Giver, yeah. So it's kind of parallel in a way where people are assigned.
Or like Brave New World?
I haven't seen that.
Okay.
That's so also a book, right?
Yeah. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I can't remember who the author of The Giver is, but obviously you and I read that in 4th grade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good book.
So, like, tell me, you said like people are assigned like certain things, or like?
Yeah, what? It's people of this city have agreed to just use the system of assignments, and what it does is put people's roles. Like, it evaluates people and then gives them roles in society. Just like The Giver, everybody has their roles. And everyone's just cool with that. And it keeps the peace. Everyone just assumes that everything's safe and in their place when this system is being used. So that kind of also includes crime and keeping people from doing bad things. So the biggest like interest to me was the Dominators, which is a gun that's linked to this system, and basically it evaluates who it's being pointed at and determines whether or not they can be taken in for therapy or pretty much eliminated from the society.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sounds intense.
Dude, it's pretty intense. And
wait, so like, is there like a person that just walks around with this gun just pointing it at people, or like,
yeah,
what?
It's the police.
Crap.
It's the Ministry of Welfare, like social welfare, and then people just run around. Well, they're detectives, and they solve crimes and stuff.
So despite the fact that this is like a perfect society and everybody has their own job and all sorts of stuff like that, like there's still crime.
Yes, there's still crime.
And
it gets weeded out.
They weed it out with the Dominators?
With Dominators, but then again, the anomaly happens pretty much. Yeah, I don't know if you want me to explain the whole
like
thing.
you don't want to like spoil it too much. I mean, that sounds interesting enough though. I mean, I'm always down for like utopian societies and shit and like things going awry, despite the fact that it's like set up, because I think out of like pure human nature, we have a desire to like want life to be easy, but like there's always somebody in that system that'll be like, oh, I wish it was easier. So it's like, even if it's easy and everything is handed to you, it's like, yeah, but what about easier for me though? Like, you know, communism, you know, Karl Marx, what is it? Communist Manifesto. And like every time they try to use it, it's like the government always ends up corrupt in those situations. Though arguably the government is corrupt in most situations. They're particularly corrupt in communist situations, to where it's like they're not giving everybody their fair share. So I guess maybe that could speak to it. Or do you think it's like a human nature thing? Is it just human nature that you always want more, and so therefore there will always be crime and never peace?
I think there would be no. It could boil down to nature, and not particularly just human nature, just nature in general. So I'm just kind of expanding it even more, because this system is supposedly supposed to be perfect, right, and set everything in their place. But the very nature of nature, I ran out of words, is that like it evolves into something from what it normally is to something that's new, and you can't really set up a system that will predict perfectly what the future is going to hold. So there's plenty of movies that are like that, where like they try to develop a system that can house our current understanding of things, and yet we end up discovering something new, and it just totally shatters our current understanding of the way we look at something. So like there's another movie that comes to mind is Paycheck, and it's a live action movie. Have you seen Paycheck?
Is that the one? Oh no, Paycheck. No. I'm thinking Blank Check. Is Paycheck the one with Ben Affleck?
Yes. He's the engineer that builds the machine that can see the future, pretty much. And because of that, they try to build something to predict things, and then you can actually make decisions before they actually happen. It ends up kind of messing everything up. So it's like you thought you'd be able to use this to like make the world like straight, put it in order, but it ends up like just spiraling out of control. Because like, I mean, in theory, if you were to know the future, you'd be able to prevent bad things, right? But then the very nature of being able to see the future, things have already changed. This might be going into like time travel type stuff right now, but I'll reel it back in.
Dude, it's I'm always there for it. I know. We could
make this a 4-hour discussion. Yes. Lecture and lab.
Yeah, for real. I'm down for the lab section.
Oh, snap. Let's build a time machine.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I think you should watch Psychopaths, and then I very much want to talk to you about, you know, what you think about it, because we always go into these deep conversations about like, you know, the way things are and like how that actually fits, how that relates and stuff. Just like what Otakify is. How does this relate to, you know, other things?
Nah, man. I mean, that's pretty interesting. I like the concept. I like the utopia concept is one that gets used over and over again. And like, I'd be remiss if I said that I didn't wish that there was some sort of utopia, like, in a sense. But you're right. I think from a nature perspective, I think they've done scientific tests on, where they actually taught, I can't remember which one, but it was a certain primate, how to use money. And they were using money and they were able to conduct themselves with it, but then they started trying to rip each other off. It was really funny, dude. Like, it was like they were ripping each other off. And so it's like, yo, is that a nature thing, or is it just because they're so closely related to humans? But like, I don't know. You remember that episode? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Of this is like in line with what you were talking about like, you know, seeing the future and how that changes the
future.
Yeah, how that changes both the present and the future. Mm-hmm. It was an episode of The Wild Thornberrys, where I think Eliza saw a woodpecker that didn't have the most efficient beak, and so somehow, some way, she like gave him like a needle, and then he was eating all the larvae, and he got super fat, and then like he wasn't actually able to eat anymore because he was super fat, and like, you know, the other birds were starving, and like it was just kind of like that whole like balance out effect. Like when you mess with nature, like it ends up balancing itself out no matter what you do.
Yeah.
You can't get the upper hand on nature too much.
No, there's something that we don't understand, that if we poke at something, something's going to happen that we don't really predict. We didn't really expect that, oh, snap. Now all the birds can't eat, or this bird's like super fat. Yeah, I remember that episode.
Dude, that's so crazy that stuck out to you, because like it stuck out to me too, and it's like I feel like every time I bring it up to people, they remember it, but that's like one of the only episodes I remember.
Yeah, what else happened?
Yeah, I remember other stuff, I guess, but like that one like comes to mind super clear for me, and it comes to mind super clear for other people too. So like, I don't know, maybe there's like a really deep message in there that like resonated with all of us.
Yeah, I think we all have experimented in a certain way that we kind of have effect on things around us. Sometimes major, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word, man. So did you watch any other anime?
I watched Gata HK, and this is funny because Ashley started watching this as well. Like
before you, or like
No. Well, okay. Actually, I don't know how we started watching that. I think it just came up on the list. I was like browsing. I was like, okay, I haven't seen this in a while. I want something lighthearted because I was watching Psycho Pass, and that was pretty heavy-handed. So I wanted to step away from all of that like deep thinking and just go super light and funny. So I started watching Gata HK. Have you seen that?
No, I never seen it. Never even heard of it.
It's a slice of life. It's a rom-com, but more on like the perverted side of things. So, you know, it's lighthearted.
Word, man.
Yeah.
And like, what would you say is your favorite part about that? Just like the funny, like quirkiness of it, and like the.
I would say.
Is there a lot of fan service, or is it just like super pervy?
It's kind of super pervy, and like kind of the girl is the one that's after everything though. So the girl is just like, I gotta have this guy, like, you know, this is my goal. Like, I don't even know him, but I just gotta like, this is just the first of many, because that's her goal in high school. It's like, I want to have this many sexual partners, but I can't start with like somebody that's like good looking or like super hot. I gotta like start somewhere where somebody else is also just like, you know, a virgin. And so she ends up like bumping into this one guy, which is the main guy, and pretty much trying to go after him super aggressively. And then he's just like freaking him out. Like he's Red Riding Hood, and like she's the wolf practically.
Huh.
It's funny.
Wait, so isn't that kind of like, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that kind of like Easy A?
Easy A?
Yeah, have you ever seen that movie? It has Emma Stone in it. But like, I think the difference is, it's like this chick is just like, does she decide to like sleep with people like out of her own volition, or is it like somebody like prompts her to do it? Like, does she just decide like, yo?
Yeah, no, it's not in spite. It's not in spite at all. This is just for some reason this girl's goal, or this character's goal. It's just like, this is what's gonna define my success.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's definitely a step away, or a couple genres away. Yeah.
I'm like down for that though. I kind of want to see that and see how that plays out, because like that's the opposite of like what you would typically see, right? Like guys trying to get laid. So it's like different. It's like chicks trying to get laid, but like that might be different in Japan, because like
oh dude. Oh man. So I I recently listened to Modern Romance by Aziz Ansari. Have you heard that?
Oh, the book. I've heard it's a great book, by the way.
It's good, man. You should definitely check it out.
Yeah, it's been recommended to me several times. I'm a fan of Aziz, actually. So,
dude, Aziz, yes.
Does he talk about the whole like how Japan is like gonna extinct themselves because nobody's hooking up?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Well, I mean, he has his own takes and, you know, his data, but I mean, it's crazy how like we were kind of hearing about that, and then I got into this book, and then I heard about it again because he checked it out. Because he checked out different countries, right? How romance is defined, and like how hooking up is defined, and what it's, I guess, what's acceptable, what's not. And like he goes to Tokyo, that's one of the places. And it's crazy, dude.
Dang, man.
They're gonna extinct themselves for sure.
So no luck for me, like going out to Japan and finding the Asian.
No, super luck for you, dude. Super, dude.
Super lucky for me. So they don't like other Asians, but they're like down for.
It's like a thing. It's a cultural thing. They're very dedicated to work, and they think that, you know, this is what I gotta focus on right now. I can't do anything else but work. And that's I'm pretty sure there's people that are just like, nah, fuck that. Let's just hook up, you know? But it's like there's a new term for like guys over there. And there's probably girls that like equivalents with the girls too. It's called the herbivore. And they pretty much herbivore. So they don't like meat, or like they don't like going out and like getting any. They're just like very passive, very just like I'll just go to work, you know. Not even thinking about like all that stuff. But like inside, I mean, I'm pretty sure people are burning, you know. But like culturally,
it's so interesting.
You should check out the book. It explains it way better than I'm doing. I'm probably butchering it right now, but.
Nah, dude, I mean, I've heard several takes like from that actually. I think Kara read it, but like, and I wanted to pick it up just because I remember seeing it being advertised or whatever. He was talking about it in one of his stand-ups, I think. But like, yeah, dude, I mean, I know that like for a fact that I think they go out like on Valentine's Day, but like it's like they do Galentine's Day, like where it's like all the girls just go out and like all the guys just go out, but like there's nobody's like, you know, like relationships are a waste of time or whatever to them. And like,
yeah,
that's probably what leads to Karoshi. Yeah.
What's that?
That's the shit that
KS Karoshi,
where it's like death from overwork.
Oh, damn. Yeah, probably. They need to take chill pills over there. I mean, they can still get stuff done. I don't know what it's like. I'm born and raised in SoCal, and I appreciate their culture, but I just don't know how hard like social pressure is. But man, I hope things get better.
Yeah, man, I want more Japanese people.
Yeah, same here.
Just like period. Japanese people do dope shit. Yeah, they make really cool cars and really cool technology. I love my PlayStation. Nintendo is amazing.
Hell yeah.
Having panties in a vending machine is some crazy shit. You guys are great. Asian people think of really good ideas. So like Japan, don't die on me.
Don't die on any of us. Come on.
Don't die on us. Dang, dude. That's actually kind of crazy to think about. I mean, I'm not going to get all into the like whole like World War II, like hurting their economy and all sorts of stuff, and like how it had like crazy impacts on them. I wonder if that's like a contributing factor to like some of that stuff. Like if it's like if you look at the nation as like a person, and it's like, dang, you took this blow, and so like you're living with like this trauma that's making you try to like balance out like the loss that you took.
Yeah.
By like being super focused on like becoming the best. Yeah. So much so that you're like killing yourself.
Yeah, I think they're finally getting some data, like long-term data, because it just happened in like the mid-century, and it's just like, oh, this isn't working, guys. Let's stop. let's go back a little bit and like try a different direction, you know? So
Yeah.
it's crazy. The government's actually offering incentives to have families. Like they're giving people like gifts and stuff. Like go out on dates, we'll buy you 2 drinks. Like 2 drinks are on us. The government's buying people like beers and cocktails and shit to just like go and date.
That's like really awesome. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like a corrupt government at all to me. Maybe
Sounds
Japan
like-
has it all together.
Dude, sounds like they're down to party.
It's like, yo, man, we need to live still. So like, hey, go out, love each other and stuff. Please?
Yeah. But yeah,
Dang,
that's
crazy.
It's so crazy.
Nah, it's cool. So just those 2, is that all you watched?
That and just Game of Thrones.
Dude, I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I would imagine. Do you think there's any anime that exists that's like similar to Game of Thrones?
I don't know. So far, no, not really. Maybe. No, it's no, no. I don't know. We'll find it.
I don't know. I hear people talk about it so much, and like based on how they talk about it and like the depth of like characters and all sorts of stuff like that, it leads me to believe that I would really enjoy it. I just don't have HBO. Is that what it's on?
It's on HBO. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have HBO, so I haven't seen it. But I enjoy Game of Zones. Have you seen Game of Zones?
What's that? What's Game of Zones?
Dude, it's a cartoon that they made based on the NBA.
What? Dude.
Yeah, dude, and it's so good. It's so good. Like you can appreciate it without seeing Game of Thrones. If you've had one conversation with somebody about Game of Thrones and you watch Game of Zones and you like at least watch a little bit of basketball, like it's amazing. And it's been going on for a few years now, like maybe three or 4 years now.
Dude, there's like seasons to Game of Zones.
Yeah, they have seasons, man. You gotta watch Game of Zones.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, I think it started on YouTube and then
That's
they like turned it
epic.
into like a whole thing, dude. So shout out to the creators of Game of Zones. Definitely looking to see if there's like a Game of Thrones. I mean, like, as a person that's never seen Game of Thrones, I was thinking or imagining that like Berserk is probably really close to it. But I could be wrong.
I guess. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I
I
can
mean,
see
you've
that.
read the manga, so you would know. Like,
I've
way better
only
than I
read
would.
so far, dude. Like, it pissed me off so much, and I had to stop. I
think of that, like medieval times type shit, like Berserk or like Fate Zero, with like all the heroic spirits and stuff, and like the honor of like being a knight and like, you know, being of the saber class and the archer class and like all sorts of stuff like that. But I'm speaking blindly. I have no idea what Game of Thrones is like.
No, it's not like that. There's a lot of betrayal. A lot of just like backstabbing. Yeah.
Sounds kind of berserkish.
It's berserkish. It's more towards berserk.
Sounds a little berserkish.
Yeah.
But nah, dope, dude. Very cool. Definitely want to catch up with some of that stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out Psycho Pass.
Yeah.
And I want to see, what was that other one called?
B Gata HK.
B Gata HK.
I'll text you.
Yeah, text it to me so I know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this particular podcast on the anime that Mike was watching while he was sick. I'm totally actually interested in both of those shows now, and Game of Thrones, but I don't have HBO, so we'll see what happens.
Game of Zones,
shout out to Game of Zones if you guys are into that. It's available on YouTube. You don't have to pay for HBO. But yeah, oh my gosh, I can't even wait, dude, to see what kind of Game of Zones episodes they're gonna do this season with LeBron going to the Lakers. Oh my gosh, they made the hugest deal about like Lonzo Ball going to the Lakers. So like you you gotta watch it, man.
All right, I'll check it out.
But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe and follow, share if you'd like, leave us some comments of some ideas of some stuff that we can talk about, because we're definitely open to talking about new things on this podcast.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
See you later.